I'm going to show you an incredible trick, transforming a few simple bearings and scrap metal into a versatile tool. I'm starting with a pair of heavy-duty bearings and a solid metal rod. I'll slide the bearings onto the rod to ensure they are perfectly aligned for the next step. Next, I measure a piece of scrap metal to act as a spacer and connector between the two bearings. I'm using my arc welder to attach this plate securely. This is crucial because it will form the rotating carriage of our tool. After a solid weld, I always chip off the slag and give it a good scrub with a wire brush. Clean welds are strong welds, and it helps spot any imperfections in the joint. I'm taking a long piece of square steel tubing. This will be the main rail of our machine. I measure and mark the exact position, then weld the bearing assembly onto one end. I have to make sure it's perfectly square to the tubing. I'm adding multiple passes with the welder here. This joint will take a lot of rotational stress when we use the tool, so it needs to be incredibly robust. Leave a comment and let me know which country you are watching from. It's great that we can connect and chat from all over the world. Time for more chipping and brushing. It's a repetitive process, but taking the time to clean the metal ensures the absolute integrity of the build. Moving to the other end of the square tubing, I'll position it carefully and weld it firmly into place. This will serve as the adjustable anchor point. Adding more weld to the anchor base to build up the strength. If you find this video interesting, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any interesting ideas coming soon. Chipping away the slag again to check my work. I will take a small nut and mark its position on the rectangular block I just created. Using a step drill bit in my drill press, I'm boring a hole straight through the center mark. The step bit is great for making clean, burr-free holes in thick metal. Now, I'll center a nut over the hole and weld it directly to the plate. This creates a strong threaded mounting point for our locking screw. I will weld a washer onto the nut to create a T-handle. This will allow me to easily tighten and loosen the anchor block without needing extra wrenches. I slide the main rail into the anchor block. Looking good. The adjustability is perfect. Next, I'm taking a section of round pipe. I use an angle grinder to cut a smaller piece off. This piece will become the stationary holding slot for our metal. I position this small pipe vertically on the bracket of our anchor block and weld it completely around the base for maximum hold. After a quick cleanup, I'm using a paint marker to draw a straight line down the pipe. This marks exactly where I need to make a cut to hold the flat bar we'll be working with. I clamp the piece in my vise and carefully use a cutting disc on my angle grinder to cut a deep slot into the pipe. This slot has to be straight and wide enough for the metal stock. Now I take the solid rod from the beginning and slide it through the bearings. I mark the position so I know exactly where to attach it to the carriage plate. I've cut a matching slot in the end of this rod. I'm welding the rod directly to the plate between the bearings. This makes the slotted rod the rotating head of the machine. I slide the finished rotating assembly back onto the main square rail. Everything fits perfectly and spins freely. To give myself enough leverage to turn the head, I need a good handle. I'm taking a solid square bar, placing a piece of pipe over it for a comfortable grip, and welding them together. I'll mount the whole jig securely in my heavy bench vise. The tool is fully assembled and ready for action. I slide a flat steel bar into the stationary slot and lock it down. Then I adjust the rail and slide the rotating slot over the other end. As I turn the handle, watch what happens. The machine perfectly twists the cold steel into a beautiful uniform spiral. This homemade metal twister works like a charm and can make endless decorative pieces. If you enjoyed this project and found it inspiring, please give this video a big thumbs up, share it with your friends, and leave a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe for more fantastic DIY ideas. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.